this is in shadow, and like this, and this part, and then this whole part I'm just gonna group into the shadow. I could change it later, you know, that's okay. Okay. But I do want to get a good shape for her face, so that's really important. So I'm going to take the color of her hair, and I'm going to really draw sort of a good shape for her face. So we have this, so let's draw, there's more sort of her, so this is coming out a bit more, you see? And then we bring this in, this, and where her chin is coming, I want to sort of get this, and then her neck, and then there's this really clear shadow behind her hair, and I can sort of lower this droplet, and then come back and refine this with the hair color. I'm not worried about details or anything like that. I just want to get the basic shapes of her head and the shapes of her hair and kind of the light and shadow pattern happening here. Okay, so now I'm gonna work from, I'm working from shadow to the next value color. So this is a shadow, this is a shadow. I'm grouping this into shadow right now, and I'm just going to come down and get the shadow, cast shadow on her neck. Okay, this and this. And from her hand, we have this. And of course it's changing, the light is changing, but anyways, that's enough for now. And then there's a darker shadow. But we'll get to her arms and all that stuff in a bit. So let's just do this section. Okay, so that was my shadow color. The next color over to transition would be sort of like a halftone slash shadow, like the next, you know, I'm going to transition, at least I want to do her forehead. So this transitions kind of like this. And her cheek, you see the light is right here, but then it kind of comes down and it transitions. So if I feel that that's too dark, I take the next one over. You see, I come over and just take the next one. So then I still feel like that's too dark for her cheek. So then I'm gonna come over to this one and, oh, still too dark, wow, okay. All right, so then I come over to the next one and I put a little bit of red because her cheeks are a bit red. So, wow, I am just not getting light enough. Okay, we'll just keep going. That's why it helps to have all your colors sort of pre-mixed, because then I can just adjust. I don't have to remix an entire color. You know what I mean? Like that would take some time, and I want to have time. I'm trying to have time to look at the model. Okay, that's getting better. And then the shape over here is a little bit different, not changing the shape too much. And over here, although I kind of went in there a bit too much. Okay, so let me do this little brush so that I can transition really nicely from her sort of mid-tone to right here. I'm going to transition this down, okay? And then I'm going to come back with my shadow color and transition that back into shadow, so we have kind of a smooth transition. And of course, like there's a leaf coming over here over her, but that will be, I'll do that in a bit. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is I'm trying to build these shadow shapes and the lights. So I go back to my light, and then I really try to isolate where the light is. So the light is, the highlight's coming right there in her forehead. I'm just going to delete the leaf for now because we'll put that on top. You don't want to, we want to first build the structure of her face and then the leaf on top of that. So see how I'm bringing back I'm bringing a highlight right there. And I'm also taking into consideration the shape of the shadow. And let's see. Then very, very light. I put a bit of yellow in there so that we have a strong highlight right there. See that strong yellow? Really, really sort of popping it. And then we have a strong highlight right on top of her cheekbone. See there. And then there's a little more happening with her nose, like there's more details. There's the wing right there. And then there's the transitions. And then there's kind of a warmth over here, sort of some details over there, and then how it kind of comes up right there, and this sort of comes over, and then I can take that highlight and put it right on the tip of her nose where the highlight is right there on the tip of her nose, sort of like boop. So we're just building sort of like light and shadow like that. And then I'm always just constantly aware of the shadow and the shadow shapes. So I'm sort of like, you're never really done, you're kind of always drawing that part. So this. I'm just gonna make that solid for now. I'm gonna leave this part alone for a bit. And I'm going to bring this light over, a little bit over this way. So we have this happening over here. Bless you.
Bless you.
Pardon. Can she put you in the video a little bit, or do you not want?
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay. You can get her if you want. Because it's so pretty, so beautiful. Okay, so we have this, and I'm trying to see how this sort of transitions around, and the shape of this shadow, like that. You see how it's like I'm trying to make the form turn this way and turn this way. Do you see how I'm making the form? Yeah.
So amazing.
And then I'll go back to the shadows, but I just really, really want to hit the really light parts of her. I really want to get where I feel like it's super light.
I'm sorry, I need a tissue.
Okay, go ahead, take a break. Okay, that's